It's another beautiful day in the Bay Area. Welcome to Shared Bites. It's a show about sharing experiences both inside and outside of the gaming world. My name is Andy. I'm here with Justin. As always, Justin, how are you doing today? It's actually a really nice day. I mean,
It is.
we say
It's
this,
it's a
but it's
great
actually a nice
day.
day today.
Been a while since we
Sunny.
recorded an episode. I'm excited to get back into it. We took a short break because I had another kid. So
Another
yeah, that's
one.
been fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just keeps happening. I don't know how this keeps happening.
Okay. Well,
But I think I have an idea of how it's happening. But
yeah, I was like,
anyway,
hopefully you have some idea, but
yeah. But yeah, I got a little girl now, and it's great. So
cute.
now we have one boy and one girl, and it's great. It's been amazing just kind of getting back into that caring for an infant mindset. It's very taxing, like mentally and
Mm,
emotionally and spiritually,
mm.
and physically. But it's very rewarding. Like it's the smile, like seeing her like look up at me and like try to smile, like because she's just learning how to use her body. She's learning how to use her little hands and learning how to smile, and she doesn't even know how to poop yet. Like we have to help her with that sometimes. It's just so wonderful to I don't know if anybody else listening to this or watching this has had kids before, they can empathize with like that
And,
indescribable feeling of like meeting your child for the first time and spending those first few weeks with them. It's been really special.
and if not, just play the game Pragmata. It's just like that, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's exact. I mean, it's 1-to-1. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Andy?
I'm doing okay. Yeah, just didn't doing a little, just did a little summer travel, not a whole lot. I didn't
To
do a big European
whence?
trip or anything, but I did go to the Midwest. I went
Uh,
to Wisconsin for the first time.
What'd you do
Uh,
there?
I visited a friend, and we did just things in Wisconsin. So like
That's a
sightseeing. We
cheese
did
place, right?
It's a what choice?
They have a lot of cheese stuff there, right?
Yeah, cheese is a big thing there. Cheese and beer. I think those are the
Oh,
two biggest
nice.
exports.
Those are good
Um,
things.
Mostly the beer. I think cheese is pretty good too. Their other big thing is cheese curds. Which, have you had a cheese curd before?
Yeah, I'm
Fried cheese curd.
familiar. I'm familiar with
Are
cheese
you?
curds. I mean, maybe not in the context that you're talking about, but cheese curds, I mean, they're used in they're used in poutine and things like that.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if these are those. I think the best way to describe these cheese curds that I had in Wisconsin are they're basically mozzarella sticks.
Oh,
They're
nice. Nice.
fried cheese. Um,
Nice.
they're
I
very good.
love mozzarella. Dude, I will get down on a plate of you actually maybe not now. When I was maybe like 15 years ago, I would get down on a plate of mozzarella sticks and just that would be my dinner. I would knock it out. Those things are so good.
Yeah, they
But
are. I just
now
love
that would
cheese and fried cheese.
probably lead to a really rough night for me.
Yeah, I mean, I guess mozzarella is one of the lighter cheeses, but yes, I see your point. But they have cheese. The cheese curds in Wisconsin I had were, we went to like this thing called Summerfest, which is kind of like entire concert series over the course of like 6 weeks or something. It's all summer for them. It's the biggest thing in Milwaukee, and it was one of the reasons why we went too is because we went to see the band Muse, who I'm sure you're
Oh,
familiar with,
nice.
right? Yeah,
Oh
it
yeah,
was
yeah.
my friend that's her favorite band, so it was the beginning of their tour too, so which is kind of
Were
cool.
they amazing?
Yeah, they're always amazing. Yeah, I've seen them several times. I've seen them like 7 times. So yes,
Nice.
they're amazing. Yeah, it's a really fun show. Definitely recommend it. It's a good time. But Summerfest is it's by the water, which is beautiful. I didn't even think about this because I just assumed Midwest. Oh, it's just like a bunch of farmland. No, Wisconsin's by the lake, so it's
Yeah.
beautiful. There's a lot of coastline, a lot of lakes, a lot of being on the water, and it's like a fair. Kind of think of like a state fair where there's some rides. I don't think that many rides. The big ride is like this people mover thing where you kind of just take it from one end of the
Sure.
park,
Yeah.
I guess, to the other, which is kind of cool. Is you get a kind of view of both the city and the water. But it's a bunch of like there's a lot of food stands, a lot of places to drink, a lot of just like there's a lot of stages too. There's like a multiple music stages, so it's a music festival essentially. But
Sweet.
it's really cheap. It's like only $20 or something to go if you do the daytime thing. So the music gets separate. So at night they have like
Oh, okay.
headliner bands, so like really big artists that are
I
kind of
see.
like you pay a lot of money for, not a lot of
That's
money, but you
not
pay.
$20.
That was not $20, but you do get you get to go at the night show and you get to go through the whole day. So the
Oh,
day
cool.
show is basically from like 1 p.m. to like actually it goes from 1 p.m. to like 11 p.m. So you can do the whole day there.
Holy cow.
Um, It's funny. We actually finished the Muse show. I went back to the Summerfest and saw like the last two bands, which were cool.
Oh, nice. Were there
So
any standouts from the daytime show?
yeah, there's a lot. They had like All Time Low. There was like,
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
there's like Papa. This is like Papa Roach. I said Papa Roach, and there's like all these like 2000s alt
Wow.
rock bands there. Yeah, they're
Did
the
you
lineup was
discover anything
bananas.
new that you've been listening to since you came back?
No, not really. I think we were just there to see Muse. I think we did it during the day just for a couple hours just to say we went. So it was a cup just to eat and drink and try the cheese curds, which the cheese curds are so they're like tater tot size mozzarella sticks. That's the best way
Oh,
I can
nice.
describe it. Yeah, they're
That sounds
bite
great. Sounds
sized.
delightful. Were you
They're
dipping in
delightful.
marinara sauce?
Yes, there was some sort of I don't know if it was marinara, but I think yeah, there was some sort of like sauce that was probably tomato
Nice.
based from what I remember. But like
That sounds
it's
good, man. I haven't had mozzarella sticks in years. I gotta fix that.
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, either get some mozzarella sticks or go to Wisconsin. Um, a lot of good fried foods there and a lot of good beer. I think beer is the national pastime. One of the mottos of one of the places is called "Drink Wisconsibly," which I thought was hilarious.
That's great. I saw Muse one time, but it was before they like had all their huge like laser show and everything. It was like they were kind of big at the time, but they were not like stadium level big yet. So they played. I think it was at the Joint in Las Vegas before they like remodeled it
Joint.
forever and ever ago.
Okay.
Yeah, at the
Yeah.
Hard Rock. This must have been back in like 06, 07, something like that. But man, they even back then they rocked the house. It was so good.
Yeah, it's really
I will
talented.
always remember that show.
Oh, for sure. They're really talented. I mean, they're, the lead singer's got like this really falsetto voice. It can get falsetto levels type voice. It's a lot of glam, and then a lot of like
very
really
powerful, like playing of the instruments too.
yes, a lot of great guitar solos, kind of like in the '80s, like the hair metal days, the glam rock days. So there's got a, it's a little combination of both. My old boss used to describe it as Radiohead meets Tool, which is kind of it's not really accurate, but it gives you a sense of like
there needs to be a third more pop centric band in that mix to really make that mix come together. I think those two are part of the recipe, but I think there's like a pop something or other in there.
There's something,
like a Blink 182 to help offset the seriousness of the Tool.
Yeah, they're not as nearly as serious as Tool and Radiohead together. But yeah, kind of something more whimsical there because they're a little tongue in cheek. Anyway, yeah, great show, but Midwest is cool. I never. One of the reasons we do these trips is because like I like to visit new cities in the U.S. So that's kind of as part of the ethos of the show. I like to try new experiences. So, try going to cities, try the restaurants, try the food, try the beer, try the whatever's there. Go sightsee. We went to the Harley Davidson Museum, which is
cool.
That's where Harley Davidson was born in Milwaukee, which I didn't know. So it's, just try to kind of see stuff that's kind of unique to the area. We went to a couple like great restaurants. They got a lot of good food. The food in Milwaukee is amazing. Yeah,
I wouldn't have expected that to be like one of the things you
would not have expected either. But lo and behold, it's surprising there are a lot of Asian influences, which I didn't expect. But I think, given I guess kind of where the trends in restaurants are going, there's always room for an Asian influence on like Western dishes, and you combine different flavors and whatnot. We went to like an omakase place, which is wild because you never
in Wisconsin,
in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
That's crazy.
But we went to a place. It was called Omakase 1033, I think.
Wow, how was it?
And it was really good. I mean, it's not the best omakase I've ever had, obviously, but it's way better than anything I would expect in the Midwest. It got a Jane's Beer nomination for best new restaurant. I think that's the reason why we went there. That's awesome. It was pretty solid. I mean, yeah, that's pretty good. Definitely. I mean, price wise, it kind of is much better of a deal than you'd go if you go to like one of the big cities in the U.S., right? New York, San Francisco, LA, whatnot. So it was a good deal there. But yeah, it's cool new experiences. Great to new cities. I always like one of my life goals is to go to every baseball park every major league baseball park in the country, in the continent. Let's say there is one in Canada. I was going to say in the U.S., but Toronto has a baseball team, which I've been to.
So how many more do you have to make it to?
I need to like actually count the exact number. I think I'm just eyeballing it. I'm over half right now, I think.
Oh, it's one of those things where you're like, I've been to so many of them, I might as well try to like wrap it up.
Yeah, and I think it's become like a thing now. I just like for a while actually, just like if I go to a new city, I'll always see if there's a baseball. If it has a baseball team, I will try to go to that game there.
Nice.
If it's during baseball season, obviously.
Nice.
And even if not, I think I at least I'll try to like tour the stadium. I think last year or no, a few years ago I went to Kansas City and I've never been there. And the Royals were not in town when I went there, but I was able to take a tour of Kauffman Stadium, which was cool.
Oh, cool.
So I can at least see the field, and because I love seeing the fields. Each baseball field has its own thing, right? It's got its own gimmick.
Sure.
The Milwaukee one is awesome. What's
the gimmick there?
There is the mascot of the Brewers. So it's the Milwaukee Brewers.
Okay.
And I was double checking his name. His name is Bernie, and he's a bro. He's just a dude with a mustache, cool guy. Cool. He has a chalet in left field, so he's got like a little like imagine like a ski chalet on top. And you're gonna love this. Every time the Brewers hit a home run, he takes a slide, like a water slide kind of deal. There's a spiral slide into this like foamy paper mache mug of beer. So he basically slides into a lovely frothy beer mug.
That's great. Wow.
Isn't that awesome?
And then everybody in the stadium takes a drink, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta cheers to that, obviously. Which I think is hilarious. I mean, sadly, I don't think the Brewers hit a home run during the game I went to. So he does this in three situations. I think when the game starts, the day before that, he does one, and then if the team wins, he'll do a slide at the end.
Sure, yeah.
So fortunately, they won the game. So
great. So you got to see it a couple times.
I got to see Bernie on there.
Great.
It was just funny looking at Bernie just like perched on his like chalet, just waiting to see if somebody hits a home run because he's got to go down. And we're just joking about, does he just like watch Netflix in the meantime while he's waiting for the other team? Like
he's playing Pokemon Go up there.
Sure, you can do whatever. I mean, it's kind of boring. I feel not boring, but he's
doing Mewtwo raids.
Yeah. The other funny thing at the Brewer Stadium is that they have a sausage race. So so they have people dressed up in different sausages, and you kind of root for your favorite sausage,
as you do.
And that was fun. And then instead of a t-shirt toss, so at sporting events, a lot of teams will do t-shirt toss in the crowd, get people hyped up. They do a bratwurst toss. A brat toss. They literally toss hot dogs and bread and sausages into the crowd.
Is it cooked? Is it in a bun? Is it just a raw sausage?
No, it's cooked. It's in a foil wrapper. It's like if you buy a sausage.
It's in a wrapper. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's in a foil wrapper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they literally.
Okay.
Well, yeah, if you catch it, you get a free hot dog. It's kind of cool.
Assuming it isn't destroyed on impact.
Yeah, I mean, you got to catch the thing. I mean, even if it'll
be a little
soft.
Beat up. It's still good.
Yeah, it's not like you're throwing like nachos where it's gonna.
It's
like,
just a little airborne. It's still good.
Unfortunately, I did not catch any brats, so that was a shame. But still a good time though. But yeah, great experience, and and I got to cross the Brewers off my list. It used to be called Miller Park, which I think is a much better name. Miller for the Miller Brewing Company.
Sure, yeah.
Which is in Milwaukee. But now it's the American Family Insurance Pavilion. Doesn't have quite the same roll off the tongue name.
Yeah, okay.
Even Miller is a sponsored park name, but that's just, come on.
At least it's a name.
Yeah, at least it's like a name. It's not just literally American Family
Corporate Brand Entity
Pavilion.
Stadium.
And it's funny, my friend was saying, because she lives in Wisconsin, that there's multiple venues named American Family Insurance. And so it's been confusing to people. It's like, which one is it? They're both AmFams. That
wasn't it was the one in SoCal that's like crypto.com or something now, right?
Yeah, where the Lakers play, the formerly known as Staples Center.
The Staples Center, yeah.
Which also is sponsored, but I think like many other people would rather
better
call
than
it Staples
crypto.com.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like in Las Vegas, we had McCarran Airport for my whole life. And then one day they decided it was called Harry Reid International Airport.
Okay.
You're like, F that. It's McCarran. We're still going to call it McCarran.
Who's Harry Reid?
He's representative of some sort in Nevada. I forget what his position.
Well, at least that one's like a name. It's not like you went from McDonald's to like American Family Insurance.
There's the T-Mobile Arena in Vegas.
Yeah.
It's a fun one.
It's just anyway, that's a weird quirk of corporate branding, and especially, I mean, okay,
Follow the money, Andy.
this is the one last thing we'll talk about. This is like, oh, did you see it during the World Cup where they had to rename all of the arenas, stadiums to, yeah, because FIFA has a policy that they can't have sponsors called out that are not
Really?
official sponsor of FIFA. So literally every stadium in America that hosted a World Cup game had to rename the entire stadium. So in San Francisco, so Levi Stadium here was like San Francisco Stadium, or
Wow.
and
What?
Mercedes-Benz Stadium in New Orleans was like New Orleans Stadium. So they had to literally
Dang.
remove all of the corporate branding, which I thought was kind of cool because you can see what it's like with no corporate branding.
That's cool, but that's also like, wow,
It's
man,
also
what
ridiculous. I mean, it's kind
very,
of insane.
very like that's kind of diva status of FIFA, I think. But I guess
Yeah,
if there's one
it's-
organization that could make people bend to their will like that, you know.
Yeah, and yeah, we don't have to get into FIFA and how awful they are, but
Right.
but it is pretty funny how all of our stadiums here, and I mean, and around the world, actually, I was going to say the U.S., but everywhere is corporatized, which makes sense. They got everybody's money and then whatnot, but just it's a weird quirk of life now. But yeah, so yeah, that's my big summer trip, which is kind of exciting. And yeah, a lot of good restaurants in the Chicago a little bit. Got a Michelin star dining, which is always fun, if not expensive. But yeah, so what else have you been up to other than your new child, which I
Been
know.
trying to sneak in games here and there. Mostly just I have Forza Horizon 6 running, and whenever I get a chance, I drive around and like bust down some trees to get some skill points or something, or I'll do a race once in a while. Not a ton of dedicated gaming time. I got a little more time in with the Blood Dungeon demo. I just read, like, while we were prepping for this, that Blood Dungeon, the new Messhoff game, comes out next month, sometime in August. I forget the date, but it comes out
Okay.
late August, so I'm excited about that. We got Splatoon Raiders because my son is hugely into Splatoon, so we were excited for Splatoon Raiders. That just
Yeah.
came out, and we started playing that, and it's really good so far. I'm really enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. It's got that classic Splatoon, heart and soul, but it's also single player focused, more of a like looter shooter. It's not
Yeah,
PvP.
Yeah, tell me more about that, because I was reading about this morning, and it surprised me that people are compared to Destiny, which is like, what?
I
Where
could
did
see
come
that. Temper your expectations, but it's very much like. So I was actually getting some like light, like baby's first marathon vibes from it. As like I saw it as the like.
Uh-huh.
Splatoon was Nintendo's answer to first-person shooters, or like
Right.
team-based shooters.
Remember
So
that,
it's
yeah.
like, okay, let's make a family-friendly version. It's all
paintball
they're
instead
playing
of- yeah.
paintball basically. Like,
Yeah.
okay, that's awesome, that's fun.
That's
So
cute,
this
yeah.
is them doing the same thing with like extraction shooters.
it's
Except it's
an
very
attraction shooter?
sorta. There's like it feels like them trying to dip their toe into that mania that's currently going on. Everybody
Uh-huh.
wants the like kind of sort of punishing, but not really. They tone it back for sure. Like you don't lose all your stuff if you die. But on the flip side of that,
Okay.
you can go help people who are like online asking for someone to come help them. And if you do that, you have to finish it or you don't keep any of your stuff. So if you go help someone online do a multiplayer thing, then it's full like extraction shooter mode.
Oh,
You have to finish it
the
or you
thing.
lose
Yeah.
everything. But if
Okay.
you're just playing through the story like single player, it's very casual. It's very like, oh, you lost, it's fine. Keep all your stuff, level up, power up, try again. Like you'll
So
get it next
it's like
time.
mission based, not like campaign.
Yeah,
Or
it's
like
kind of like
run
it's kind of like
based, not mission based.
Helldivers ish because
I
like
see.
it
Okay.
drops you onto a map and it says like, okay, there's a thing over here and here and here, and the main thing is over there. So then it's up to you. Like, do I want to go get all the optional things or do I want to beeline it for the main thing and just go
I
get
see,
the main
okay.
treasure and finish the level? But then you can go back and you unlock new like mods for your gadgets that make them more powerful or change the way they behave in interesting ways, which adds a lot of fun replayability and discoverability, I think. So it's been fun figuring out what our favorite loadouts are.
Okay.
And then there's, all the weapons that you know and love from Splatoon. So I've been experimenting with those to see how they work in a more PvE situation. I thought it was interesting that when this game first got revealed, if I remember right, the very first thing you see in the trailer is a single player focused Splatoon game. And then it shows the trailer. It's like, okay, they're making it clear up front what this is. And honestly, that's what got me excited about this game because I've always been super into like Splatoon's vibe, but I'm not like a match-based PvP kind of gamer. That's just not like I tolerated it in Destiny because I had to get whatever rewards I was chasing, but I don't like playing PvP stuff for the most part. So a single player like PvE centric Splatoon game was very appealing to me, and especially because you can do up to 4 players, but it's still
That's right. I just saw
PvE.
co-op.
Yeah, so it's co-op. Like I said before, you can help people or you can get friends together. You can do it that way, and there are more different rules. It's stricter in terms of like losing stuff if you play multiplayer. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I mean, it just came out as of recording. It's only been out for a couple days,
Like
but
a week or maybe less than a week.
it came out on it came out Thursday, I think. So yeah,
That's a
yeah.
few days
Anyway,
ago.
that means nothing to the people listening to this,
Yeah.
but we're very early, but so far so good. Super into it. It's a lot of fun. I am waiting to see if the music picks up, because one thing I love about the Splatoon games is all the music, and the format of those games allows them to do lots of, like, they can try lots of different genres and crazy stuff and just have cool music play for the sake of cool music playing. But this one is more of a single player thing, so there has to be more of a score than a soundtrack, you know? So
Okay.
I've been waiting to see if we get some more of that classic like Splatoon soundtrack like flavor. It's been good. It's been fine, but it hasn't been like rock your socks like Splatoon 3 or Splatoon 2 or, you know. But overall the game's been really fun. I've been enjoying it. I think I'm going to stick with it for a while.
All right, cool. Well, let me know if it makes sense to play sometimes. I do own the game. I bought it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm very excited to play it.
Yeah, let's play. Maybe me and my kid and you, maybe we can find a time to somehow all play together or something. We'll figure that out.
Let's do it. We'll find that offline. But yeah, I'm curious because yes, I think seeing single player Splatoon actually perked my ears up, because I actually own probably 1 or 2 Splatoon games, but I never actually finished them in terms of the campaign. And I played like a few matches online because I know that's where the bread is buttered, but it just did not excite me. Just having experience with other shooters, right? Like,
I mean, if you bought the game,
shooters.
Try it out and see what you think. I don't know if it'll satisfy you as like a hardcore Destiny marathon player. Like, this is probably gonna feel a lot more quote unquote accessible to you. But there's still a lot of fun to be found. And they're actually, when you first started up, it asked if you want to play on easy, normal, or hard difficulty. So maybe just crank it up to hard for a little bit of extra challenge there. And then later you unlock the ability to go back and redo stuff as like a spicy version, which is harder. So yeah, maybe. So far I found it to be pretty easy, but I also haven't gotten very far into it.
Man, that's fine. I'm okay with kind of having an easier game. I'm not expecting it to be on the same level, but it's just interesting that it scratches the same itch. So I think that's what intrigued me about this.
I think this game is more interested in helping, guide you forward rather than like, no, bad, you lost, go back to the beginning and try again. It's
hard try again.
It's less of that, and it's more like, oh, you lost, no worries, here, keep all that stuff, level up, try again, we got you, you'll be fine.
Yeah, that's a big palate cleanser from playing Marathon, I think. So yeah, which by the way, there was a new Marathon mode that shipped last week. It's called Wall Breaker.
I kind of want to try it.
Yeah, we should try that.
I'm interested.
I did a few matches. I didn't play too many, but I did 3 solo. 2 of them I died in the first room. The third one I actually tried, and therefore I got about 20 minutes into the run before my internet went out, which was kind of annoying because I was getting through stuff. Anyway, so I've yet to kind of do it solo, but I did one run with a team that I filled with random people, and I did not know what was going on. I was basically holding on the dear life by following the people because they knew what they were doing.
Nice.
I didn't want to hold the team back. That's why I did that. So I just basically kind of shot things and tried not to get in the way. That's kind of my So it's kind of overwhelming in that sense. There's a range between like being dropped in there for the first time and not knowing what to do, and also but it's also hard. So if you have other people, then I think it's much better if you have a team that you're on the same level, so that in level meaning the knowledge, and therefore you can kind of learn together. So I think I expect to fail a lot, but it's going to be cool because it's PvE only, so you don't have to worry about the PvP aspect of it, which is nice because this is a super interesting map because it's the Cryo Archive, and you on the Marathon ship, which is the coolest thing because it's literally the game. You're on the Marathon ship trying to figure out the stuff that Durandal did and 30, 40 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And I think people are saying it's like the most well-designed thing they've ever done, or one of the most well-designed maps. It's so layered and there's puzzles. It's kind of like a
imagine how much pressure was on them to make that like the coolest effing thing ever. Like how long they must have been working on it, because I mean, think about for the past few years, it's been very much, we've seen less attention on Destiny, more attention on Marathon, Marathon, Marathon. It has to be a hit. It has to be great. So like I imagine they probably put a lot, that was probably at the top of their list of things we have to get right is Cryo Archive needs to be amazing.
Yeah, I'm sure they had like a giant like, hey, oh my god, the wow factor. But the problem with Cryoarchive is that so few people can access it, the
Yeah.
original version of it, and I was resigned never to play it, and I played Marathon for like a more than. I mean, I'm not like a hardcore player. I played for like, I'd say 40 hours.
That's
And
still, I mean,
I've
that's a
never,
significant chunk of time to put into a
yeah,
game
and
and
I've never
not be
stepped
able to
foot
see
into
the
it because
end game content.
yeah, I didn't have the gear to step in foot into it, much
Man,
less
that's
the gear
wild.
to, or much less
Didn't
the
they
wherewithal
didn't they
to do
later
it.
make a thing where like you can get a sponsored kit to go
Yeah, you
under
get a
or
sponsored kit
something?
to go
Okay.
once a well, first it was just once, and then they made it once a week, and then but then
Okay.
I never had anyone to go with, so I never did anyway. And I was like, I don't want to waste my one kit on
Right.
and it doesn't really encourage you to learn it. So I think this is actually a
Yeah.
really ingenious way of leveraging kind of the coolest thing they have and making it more accessible. And
I
they
think that
obviously split off the progression. So the only things you can take away from this are these like vault keys that you can only use to upgrade the specific modes like content.
I
Although
see.
I
So it's
think
like a whole other like branch.
it's a different progression branch.
Yeah.
But you do learn though. I think
Oh,
you learn
right.
the map, which I think is the more invaluable takeaway is that you know
Yeah.
how it works and you're
Right,
able
because
to
this is very much a game about like you getting better rather than
yeah
your character getting better.
yeah the real progress is your skills that you're improving, which is
Yeah.
the real friends that you made along the way are are there.
I think it's
Um,
pretty funny that the period at the end of the Destiny story really is like it was the friends we made along the way.
it really was, yeah. I mean, that's kind
That's
of
what I'm
wild.
going to take
It's
away from Destiny. Like when all is said
more
and
the
done, I think is the
process than anything,
friendships.
which I think
I
is
think
a good
I think that
life
you and I never
lesson.
would have become so close if it wasn't for Destiny.
Yeah, I would not doubt that. And it's funny. I was actually playing the Shattered Throne the other day, and I was like getting flashbacks of when we were trying to get that stupid ship.
Yeah.
And it was like,
Oh man. I heard it's not hard to just like solo flawless dungeons now, since we've power crept so much.
I mean, especially the Shattered Throne. Shattered Throne was a joke. That thing
Yeah.
took like less than 20 minutes to beat. It was like a strike. Yeah,
Really?
I didn't know
Oh
the
my
friend. We just
goodness.
did duos, but
I
we
never
beat
have
it
done
in
a
15, 20 minutes.
flawless. I've never done a solo flawless. Maybe I should try it.
Yeah, that one's the easiest one to do, so definitely do that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of an interesting time in Destiny. I have played a lot of it recently. Actually, it's the only game I played last month, which is wild. I never thought I would
Wow.
do this, but I'm doing all the things I never got to do. So I'm doing all the raids. I'm LFGing all the raids, which was a big like mental barrier for me because I don't like dealing with strangers
Yeah, but there's
on
no
voice.
way you're gonna get a bunch of like-minded individuals together at this stage in the game.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But most of my experience has been amazing. Well,
Oh,
sorry,
I mean, in terms
they've
of like
been
trying to
good to
get like the
amazing.
gang back together, like you're not gonna reach out to like me and Slinger and Chandler.
Yeah, I
and,
did.
get us
Well,
all logged back
I
in.
did try. I did try to ping the Discord of everyone I played Destiny with in the past, and nobody responded. So
Oh, sorry,
not nobody.
bud.
There was like a couple people, but then the couple people, it was really hard to get them all together in the same room. I think the hardest boss is the scheduling boss, especially with that
Yeah, for
everyone's
sure.
adults with
Yeah, the
families and stuff.
calendar is the final boss.
So, but I've been LMGing and it's been great, especially because I've been trying to find what they call Sherpa runs, which is kind of like having a tour guide. Tour guide meaning someone will explain every
Oh.
encounter to you or give you guidance on how to complete the encounter.
Maybe I should do something like that because I've basically
Totally
resigned
recommend this.
myself to the fact that I am never going to see the Desert Perpetual raid or probably not the Equilibrium dungeon because same thing. Like I'm not going to LFG to make like I don't have time to do that. But maybe like a Sherpa run.
Well, the dungeon I can do that with you. That's easy. But if you do like a raid, definitely recommend the Sherpa experience because if you get a good Sherpa, it's actually really nice because this actually gave me an idea of like, I don't know, it was making me the gears turn in terms of educator and education and being a professor and teacher because it takes really good communication skills to teach a group of 6 people how to do a really intense coordinated activity and work together. And it takes a certain skill set to be good at it. I think there's some people who are much better educators than others, and obviously we all have teachers that were better than others. It's a similar
You have to
situation
have
here.
an endless well of patience from which to draw.
Yeah, patience is definitely a good trait, but also like kind of the best Sherpas I've had are the ones that are kind of like they give the hardest part, the hardest task to new players. So there's
Yeah.
several runs where people will say, oh, I've never done this before, the Desert Perpetual, for example. Like, oh, okay, then you get the most interesting mechanics. You get to do the most interesting thing, because that's the best way you're going to learn, is by being in a position where it's a safe space for you to fail and try again, because everyone's in the
And
same
then you're
spot.
creating, somebody else who can go and do those difficult encounters with
Exactly.
other groups.
Exactly.
If
Yeah.
everyone just learns the easy stuff, then no one's going to do the hard stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. If you have people just sit there being carried, that's not fun for anybody, really. Well, it's fun for the person who just wants to get it done, but that's kind of not, it's not necessarily the best way to learn. So yeah, these ones have been great. And I just did one last week for the Desert Perpetual Epic. I think I was talking about last
you
week.
did?
I
You
did
got
the
the
thing.
Epic one done. How was it?
It was incredible. It was a really cool experience. I did it with this guy who is like, he's made it his life's mission to teach the Desert Perpetual Epic. Like, he's like, this raid slaps so hard and no one runs it. So I'm gonna do my best to carry, or to teach people how to do this. And so he has like hundreds of Sherpa runs. He's like
the final. Do you think it is worthy of being called the final Destiny raid?
I think the last boss is, for sure. The other, so it's for those of you who don't know, the Desert Perpetual was the last raid that was last new raid that was launched in Destiny a couple years ago for the Edge of Fate. It's actually a really cool concept. I didn't realize this. So, okay, this is getting into Destiny lore now, but it takes place on the body of someone in the 9, the three of the 9.
Really?
And the Vex are trying to assimilate one of the 9, which is bad.
Whoa,
that's like a big.
I didn't realize
like,
the 9 had corporeal bodies. Like,
yeah,
I guess that's something that I will experience as I finish the Edge of Fate story, which I haven't finished.
Yeah,
yet,
well, as you do that, yeah. But it's, this is, as someone who's done all the campaigns and done the raids, I didn't know this till I was walked through this. Like, so this is like, well, but it's wild that you are helping Maya Sundaresh and her lover Kiyoma kind of prevent the Vex from this happening across multiple timelines. A lot of different. It's like multiverse. There's a multiverse in here. There's different simulations. There's different going time travel.
This is the one you mentioned with the boss mechanic that is like time travel, where you go back and you learn how to do it, and then you go back and do it again or something.
Yeah, so that's the final boss of the epic version of the raid. And this is like the one I was trying to get to, is that this is an incredible encounter. It's probably one of the best encounters they've ever done. It's completely original. And this is like, I get why the guy has made it his journey or mission to like show up as many people his way through this, because you could tell the amount of joy that he had to taking 5 new people through this. And he's like, as he's doing this, he's like, minimal spoilers. He's like telling you minimally what to do.
Wait,
like,
everybody was new except him?
Yeah.
Wow.
He takes 5 completely new. One of them hadn't even done the Desert Perpetual at all.
Unreal.
And then we actually finished the raid in the quickest time. He's like, yeah, this is one of the fastest one I've ever done. So I had a good group of competent people. Nice. But it's so cool because the last boss is like really cool to experience your first time through. So he does kind of like, he teaches it in a way that gives you enough context of what to do, but lets you discover what's happening. So it's really cool. That's cool. It does involve like kind of going through a run, getting information, and going back in time and resetting the timeline.
It's like a roguelike.
It's like a roguelite. It's also like, I don't know, it's like a Christopher Nolan movie, like Inception or whatever, that we're resetting the timeline. And it's really cool at how it's done. And you get the rally banner and everything. It's like literally we were setting nice. And there's several times that happens. And there's a couple of times where you like kind of freak out because you're like, oh crap, wait, is this going to be the one, or are we fucked? Is this like, it's really like there's a lot of tension within this one encounter. Wow. But it's super cool.
If you make it like however many loops in and you die, you got to go back all the way to the beginning and like start fresh.
If you fail, you do start from
the beginning. Like the mechanics are different and you have to relearn them or something.
You
can't just use what you learned the first time and like keep.
No, you can't. Yeah, there's some randomized parts of it, but there's a way to learn the encounter or you learn the mechanics. There's things are randomized, so it's not. You can't just do the same thing every time, but it is.
Okay, yeah.
It's designed well enough in a way.
That sounds cool. Makes me want to.
It's really cool.
Maybe once my kids go to college, I'll log back in and try it.
Well, if someone was playing the game back then or down then, probably not.
I'll be playing Destiny 2 Remastered, Destiny 2 remake.
Destiny Remastered. It is, but it's so cool because it brings back all the bosses you fought to. So the entire raid is the encounters change based on the order you pick the bosses too. So it's like Zelda. It's very Zelda, where like you can pick any boss you want to start with, but the order you pick the boss is changes how each encounter plays out because something from
Huh.
the previous encounter was going to get incorporated in the second encounter or the next one.
Huh. Very like Mega
And
Man. Like I want to fight this thing first because then this thing will be
exactly, yeah.
easier.
Exactly, yeah, it's very Mega Man, where it's like, yeah, this power is gonna like, or this thing's gonna happen that's gonna make this a little more annoying than
Yeah.
if you did
Yeah.
the other way around. And all of this comes,
That's cool.
it all comes together in the last boss encounter because all the previous bosses are also in there. So it's very Mega Man, and like there's everything you've done has laddered up to this. So it's actually quite brilliant design, and I'm really impressed. And then and I do see, yeah, again, I'm glad was able to experience this because this is something I'd resigned myself to never do because of just how hard it is to get 6 people together and how tough it is. It's pretty tough, but it's
Yeah.
very doable if you get the right people and you get the right teacher. So like anything in life, really. But yeah,
That's awesome.
it's very cool. So but yeah, it's doing stuff like that is actually really fulfilling. So it's crazy that it takes the last content update for this game to get to this point, but it's here
Yeah.
we are, and the player count for the game is actually more than many other games
And
still, even
that's what
6
it
weeks
took to
in.
get
So
me to come back too. I think I mentioned before that I had resigned myself to just being done with Destiny, and I was like,
yeah,
"There's nothing's gonna bring me back." And then they were like, "We're shutting it down."
yeah,
I was like, "Okay, fine. I guess I'll go." Just like since there's like an end point now, I'll go finish it up. So, yeah, they managed to get me back one last time to see it through to the end, but yeah, still working my way through. I did the Renegade story first, which was interesting because I got spoiled on everything that happened in the Edge of Fate. But
yeah. Well, I mean, that's fine. It's nothing's
yeah,
super spoiler. You can, it's
yeah.
still enjoyable
I'm
anyway.
not worried about
for
it.
anything there. But yeah, it's still fun. There's still nothing like it. So I'm gonna be chipping away at things. I mean, I'm almost done with the game, which is kind of wild to think about. I've done every raid except for there's only one thing I haven't done, which is the latest Pantheon, where you do all the boss gauntlet mode, like all
Oh
the
goodness,
bosses.
yeah.
So that's the last thing I've yet to do. Then I've done everything other than, so then after that, it's like every completionist thing, right? It's like the equivalent of getting every trophy. When you
Man.
do all the titles, all the, if
Are
I
you
wanted
rank
to do that,
11? Guardian rank 11?
Oh, I did get the rank 11, which is like a fun thing I wanted to do because it's forever. So may as well get it done.
Yeah.
So that's cool. You get a little cool badge by your name that says 11. And
so anything, if you have like a gilded title, I guess that's just gilded forever now, huh?
Yep, everything's forever. So that's why it's kind of a cool thing to do. If you if you love the game, go in there and do all the things. So
Neat.
yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I caught a shiny Mewtwo in Pokemon Go.
Congrats.
Finally, I did because they had the makeup weekend. We don't have to get too far into Pokemon Go talk, but I'm excited that I finally got a shiny Mewtwo.
I'll say this about Pokemon Go. It's kind of weird that it's 10 years into the game now, right? Or it's 10 years in a month. They had the 10th anniversary this month. I think the game came out in early July of 2016. And the game is arguably more popular than it's ever been. I know for like a lot of people, a lot of, non-gamers too, that summer of 2016, everyone's like, oh, that was so fun. Everyone was like out in parks and rocking around, trying to
that was
run
the
around,
lightning in a bottle moment.
It was lightning in the bottle moment, but wow, I don't know if it's just being in the Bay Area or San Francisco, but there are hundreds and thousands, maybe even thousands of people that were out for the Go Fest thing.
Yeah, it was crazy.
A couple weeks ago.
I live in a town a little south of San Francisco, and it was the same thing here at our park nearby. It was just packed to the gills. It was nonstop, like 20 full lobbies for all the Mewtwo's.
Yeah, it's wild. Like I just every time I like go to an event or a meetup and I see there's like hundreds of people. Like it's pretty amazing. And that's why I'd say arguably it's more popular than it's ever been because it's whatever reason, people are getting into it now. Maybe 10 years ago, people people our age, now they're having kids. Now their kids are of age where they can go around and play the game. I know your son is, playing the game a little bit. So
yeah, we're just now talking about like maybe it's time to create an account for him because he helps us do all the raids, and it's like I feel like he should be getting to keep some of these Pokemon now because he's
definitely
helping us catch them. So we're like this close to grabbing one of our old phones and setting it up for him.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea because then he gets like an ownership over that. And yeah, but it's crazy how vibrant the game's community is now, and it's a kind of a cool. I like actually playing the game because and you can make fun of this all you want. It's not something that's worth making fun of, but it gets me out to do my steps. Like it's a stupid thing.
I went out today for a walk because of Pokemon Go.
Yeah, That's
Yeah.
awesome. It's like yeah, I need like I need like a mission to go for a walk. Right? It's like I need to go for an errand or buy groceries or buy dinner or go to
Hmm.
run some whatever reason. Uh, but if I don't have that, then I'm more inclined to not do that, not go out because it's like, oh, why do I have to go out? There's nothing to do. But even if it's as dumb as like completing a mission or getting a raid or whatever that is in the game,
The
it's
chance
enough,
at a
and that's great.
shiny Dynamax Feebas was enough to get me to walk out to
There you
lunch
go.
today. I
There
did
you go.
not
Yeah,
get one, but I tried,
you
and this
tried,
was
yeah. And
important.
I'll
Yeah.
probably get me out to do a walk after the podcast too, just after record because yeah, I got to use those up. But if there's enough of a carrot, then it gets you out, and I think that's great. That's kind of the mission of what they were trying to do, right? They're trying to get people to go walk, explore the world, whatever. It's it
Pokemon Go to
sounds
the
kind of
polls.
cheesy, and yeah, we got to get people back at the polls in the next election year,
It's Pokemon
or
Go to
every
the
election year.
park now.
But it is kind of a cool thing that they've kind of structured the game around like walking, get your steps in, and at the end of the day, that's whatever it does to get people out and walk. That's fine. I actually,
Yep.
so my games are less. I do less about catching everything than more just like grinding the the things they need to grind. Right now, I'm training my Zygarde to be
Oh,
my
nice.
gold bottle cap. So it's like the missions are pretty crazy. They're like walk 100 kilometers, and you're not going
I
to do
used
that.
my gold bottle cap on the shiny Lugia that we caught with you in San
There
Francisco.
you go. That's a great one. But yeah, so the things you have to do are just like they're long term, but it's like okay, but I'm slowly making progress or something. And if it's most of my playing of the game is walking around and so getting the the step counter part, and that's fine. I got some eggs, that's fine.
Nice. Yeah.
So yeah, if anyone's ever liked the game, I think this is a good time to play the game because there's a vibrant community. There's tons of people playing it. They've got a lot of quality of life stuff that that they've added in over the last decade. They're not perfect, but there's you can there's remote trading if you get high enough friendship level, right? There's all the stuff that's there designed to keep people playing together.
There's
So
a
it's
laundry
good.
list of things that I would change in that game if given the
Oh,
opportunity,
of
but it's
course.
still a lot of fun, and it's still a great way to catch it's like they're legitimate Pokemon. Like I actually have a shiny Mewtwo now that I could put in Pokemon Home
Yeah, you can put it in
and
home.
then
That's the
take
cool
into
part too,
whatever. I
right?
could take it into Pokemon Champions, like any of that. Yeah. So like it's cool. Like I'm actually out there playing Pokemon, like catching shiny legendary Pokemon. It's great.
Yeah. And my favorite thing about it is that you don't have to like yeah, you're on your phone, but like I play the game in which I'm not really looking at my phone. Oh, I'm looking at my phone as minimally as possible
Yeah.
because the
I just
ratings.
busted out for the raids. I have the auto catcher on for the most part.
Yeah, I don't
And
have quite
then
the auto catcher, but I have the even if I'm playing the raids, I'm just literally you're spamming, you're tapping it right,
tap
and
tap tap
you can
tap
do that
tap.
without
Yeah.
looking at the phone.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm trying to like walk, as I'm walking, I'm trying not to be oblivious to the world around me. So at
Right.
least
Yeah. That's smart.
Uh, so it's there's a lot you can do with the game without needing to be glued on your phone. And yes, it's an oxymoron of like, okay, you're on your phone, but you're walking. But yeah, it's a fun way to play. It's a fun way to get out and do things. I think missions.
Yeah.
So
It's a nice compromise.
yeah, for
It's
sure.
not full on exercise, but it's halfway
Yeah,
there.
it's something. It's something. Getting your steps are
Yeah.
important,
I'll
man.
take
I
it.
think,
It's
but
better than I've been doing.
yeah, I think one of the things I've been doing with working with like a personal trainer is that one of the things you have to do is cardio, and I hate doing cardio. I hate running,
Mhm.
and I don't hate this stuff, but it's hard for me to motivate to do that. Or whether it's on the exercise bike or just going for runs, but they were like, yeah, like even if you just walk, just get your steps in, that's enough to burn enough calories to keep you like kind of in good enough shape. And I've taken that to heart. It's like, yeah, if just get out and just do steps, just walk, just be out and about. Like, don't.
Yep.
The worst thing you do is just sit and do nothing. You don't have to do like, crazy like spin classes or
You don't have to go do
20-mile rides.
10,000 steps before noon.
Yeah, I don't think before noon. But although you want to do 10,000 steps at some point, but that'll add up. But again, Pokemon Go is a way to motivate you to do those 10,000 steps. It's like,
Yep.
if you do a route every day to get to your Zygarde, or if you do hatch X amount of eggs, it does get you there, and that's
Yep.
something.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah,
fun.
yeah,
I saw Masters of the Universe, the movie that came out not too long ago. It's on digital now, and I thought it was
yeah.
fun. I thought it
I
was
thought
a
it was
really
fun
fun
too.
movie.
I
I
agree.
went in with low expectations, but dang, we all had it. We actually let our son watch it. It's PG-13, but my wife started screening it halfway through. She was like, "We should just let him watch it. This is
Yeah,
fine. Like it's
it's
great. It's
completely
fun. He'll
fine.
love
I don't
it."
even know why it's
So
rated.
yeah, we all watched it, and he won't stop talking about it. He loved it. It was so much
Yeah.
fun. So
Did
yeah,
you love Skeletor in the gym and
yeah,
Boss
yeah.
Skeletor in the
Oh
office?
my God, yeah, that was fun. Yeah, I mean Jared Leto is Jared Leto, but
It pains me to say that Jared Leto is actually really good in this movie.
yeah,
But he
exactly.
is.
'Cause,
He's a perfect amount
very
of
good
Jared Leto.
Skeletor, very good Skeletor.
And
Fun
especially because you don't have
movie.
to see his face.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
got a mask the entire
We
time.
loved it. We had a great time watching it. We're gonna watch it. He's already asking if we can watch it again.
Nice.
They're actually watching Hook in the bedroom right now, which is
fun.
really exciting. I
Oh.
watched the first like half hour of that with them while I was getting ready for this.
Yeah,
I have
that
not
movie-
seen. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say that movie got done dirty at the box office because I think it bombed because it came out at a bad time and the marketing for that movie wasn't great. I'm talking Masters of the Universe.
Oh, okay.
Still.
I was like Hook.
Yeah, no, Masters of the Universe, and it
Yeah.
was really good. It was really solid. Rather, it's not really good. It's kind of a
Yeah, it was solid.
It was
yeah.
an incredibly fun time, and I went to see it in theaters and Dolby Cinema, and it looked great. It was funny. I had a good time.
You know what it reminded me of is the recent Dungeons and Dragons.
I was gonna say that. Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
exact
it had
same
that
vibes.
same kind of heart. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
very
fun.
very funny, very kind of like genuine too, and good adventure. Yeah, good effects.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, and there was a fun tease of future stuff in that universe. So we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, which
but,
probably won't happen because it bombed hard.
Yeah,
but
we'll see. I thought it was fun though, and
has legs.
The whole time I thought it was Austin Butler in the starring role. I was because I saw the ads and I was like, "Oh, Austin Butler,
That's not Austin Butler.
sure, whatever." But yeah, then I started watching and I was like, "Oh, that's not Austin Butler." It's a guy who kind of bears a passing resemblance to him in the trailers, but
he's great. Yeah, really well
but
done.
I have not seen The Odyssey, which I think you've seen probably like 8 times by now, right?
I've seen it twice. I think
twice,
I think that's the other elephant in the room is for movies is The Odyssey. I saw it in 70 IMAX,
but I really want to see it in 70 IMAX, but it's out. Like there are no tickets available.
There are tickets available. You just have to sit in the first 2 rows at like 2 a.m., which you probably want to do.
Not an enjoyable experience. I would rather just see it on a regular screen at that point. I can
unless you have.
I'll survive not seeing the top of the hat for.
But I've seen it twice in 70 millimeter IMAX, and again, we're privileged because we live in the Bay Area and we have access to the Metreon, which is probably I think it's the second biggest IMAX in the country, behind Lincoln Square,
like barely.
Lincoln Center in New York, and it's like smaller by mere inches. Like it's not significant. Like these two are they're basically comparable.
The movie was made for like this screen, basically.
Oh yeah, I mean Christopher Nolan shot it. It's the first movie shot entirely in IMAX, and that's then actual film IMAX, and we're not talking digital shit. We're not talking like upscale whatever like a lot of movies have done now to market their movies. This is a feat of engineering. Like I've been deep into the back behind the scenes lore and how just stuff like they can only shoot 3 minutes at a time with the cameras because the film is so big that they can only
that's nuts.
Each canister is only 3 minutes, and so they had to perfect the reloading of these film cameras. So I think they were saying originally it took 25 minutes to kind of change out the reel and bring it back. But Hoytsma, the cinematographer, him and his team love F1 and they're inspired. So they've gotten into
I was going to say they need a whole pit crew.
It's a pit crew situation, but they've gotten it on a minute and a half, which is pretty amazing when you think about the time.
Wow.
The other impressive thing is because of the 3-minute thing, every scene has to be shot in 3-minute chunks. So all the actors had every 3 minutes, even the really emotional scene, had to stop in mid take and then resume with the same intensity that they did,
2 minutes later.
Yeah, like 2 minutes later when they do the thing, and it's I mean, yes, they're paid to do this, but it's pretty. That sounds hard. I mean, if you're the best in the world,
heart-wrenching monologue. Hold that thought. Yeah,
hold that thought exactly. Like, pause and resume. Which so stuff like that kind of really impresses me, and that's the stuff you'll see here. So,
and I saw good old Jeff Keighley talking a lot about how his dad was instrumental in not only this IMAX movie but lots of past IMAX movies and the medium in general. I had no idea until
David Keighley.
I guess they named the new camera after him.
They named the camera after him, and they dedicated at the end of the movie. There's dedicated to David Keighley at the end of the movie at the credits.
That's really nice. Well. So congrats and thank you for everything you've done for cinema.
David Keighley. he was like the chief like quality officer, I think, for IMAX. He was there, like he's responding to people. It's talking about David Keeley, Jeff's dad, and yeah, it's a fun fact that gamers don't know. I think they'll know now because it's kind of a big story and because of how
Yeah,
big the Odyssey is and how much IMAX is a part of this movie specifically. So
yeah.
yeah, that's I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad they're
Glad it
remembering
got some
him well.
recognition too.
Yeah.
That's great.
But yeah, I just will say this. Yeah, you haven't seen it yet, right? The Odyssey.
I
Like,
haven't.
okay, have you read the Odyssey
Uh, in high school,
in high school?
sure.
Yeah,
Like
same.
I
Yeah,
have a passing familiarity with the source material.
yeah. I think that's you don't really need any familiarity with the source material. It's actually better if you don't know it
Yeah,
because
I
otherwise,
figure.
then
Yeah,
it's like many adaptations of books. It's like the more you know about it, the more expectations you have, and the more
sure. Yeah.
disappointment you're setting yourself up for if you have a
Hmm.
certain expectation of the way things are going to go. So yeah, you're going to love it then. I think, especially if, I had the same thing. I knew vague beats, right? Like the Cyclops and like the drugged
Yeah,
horrors and all this stuff. That's kind of like vague stories. But yeah, I think the way he does it is great. It's fantastic. It's probably the best movie I've seen this year. I think just overall, it's incredible. I would say if you can see it in 70 millimeter IMAX, do that.
I'm trying
Uh,
real hard. I got to keep checking and see if somebody cancels their ticket or something.
Yeah, there's a Discord for AMC if you
Oh, really?
I can it's on Reddit too, but yeah, we can talk offline. But yeah,
Sure.
again,
Yeah.
anyone you can check it. They have alerts where they will people will ping the channels if they release tickets and it gives you a heads up
Interesting.
to get
Okay.
tickets. So
Cool.
that's an option too. But yeah, but if you can do it, do it. It's worth it. I have a friend who drove 3 hours from Seattle to Vancouver. He said he
Wow.
got a hotel room for a night and he watched like in the morning screening, and he said it was worth it. And this isn't a guy who doesn't watch movies. He only watches like one movie a year. So, I really do think it's worth it. It's obviously within means. If you're you know already traveling or it's close enough where you can do the drive, like do it. I think it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's definitely. I mean, if I didn't live so close, I'd still make the trip because it's pretty incredible the experience. Especially
Nice.
if there's like these comparisons of screen size, and I guess I'm pretty spoiled by being have access to this 100 foot. It's 100 foot screen, by the way. You've
It's
probably been there, right? You've been to the
insane.
Metro
Oh
screen,
yeah,
yeah,
lots of times. Yeah.
yeah. It's 100 feet. That's hard to like conceptualize, but
It's literally breathtaking when you walk
yeah,
in and see the size of the screen. When you can see people try to take wide angle pictures. It doesn't
it
do it
doesn't even
justice.
fit. Yeah,
When you walk in there, it's just like it's arresting. You're like, whoa, that
yeah.
is a
It's
big screen.
it's bigger than airplane hangars. It's
Yeah.
insanely big. It dwarfs the size of a normal movie screen so much. Like there's like a comparison. You can go online and see kind of the comparisons of different screen sizes, and it's magnitudes bigger than even like the fake IMAXs they have now. The smaller IMAXs that they have
Yeah.
just like for scale or for scale, meaning the locations. But yeah, it's like way bigger than those, way bigger than normal screen. It's kind of arresting. So if you can do that, do that. So tickets are sold out for I think they're sold out through mid August right now.
Forever.
People have been scalping the tickets, which is kind of sad and wild when we're in an environment where people can scalp tickets to movies for hundreds of dollars, which
Ridiculous.
is wild to think about. We're in this set, but there's small supply of theaters and people that do this, so it's kind of
Yep.
it kind of sucks. And I bought my tickets a year ago, and I felt embarrassed about this, and people made fun of me. But who's
Wow.
laughing now?
Yeah.
No, this is why I got to see it twice because I bought lots of options because I have no idea I'm going to be doing it in a year, so I
Did
just
you
bought
did you enjoy it more, less, or
more.
just as much the second time?
More. This is a movie that rewards repeat viewings.
Oh yeah.
Like any of Nolan's movies, which is wild to think of because I don't like watching movies more than once because there's so many movies that I need to see that I'd rather see something new than revisit something older. But but this movie and Nolan's movies in general, like they get better every time you watch them. Like I've
Yeah,
seen
I agree with
Tenet. I
that.
hated Tenet the first time I saw Tenet, which is the 2020 movie with Robert Pattinson and
I
John
actually
David
haven't
Washington
seen
about
that one.
the time travel one. Um, I did not like it at first because this was going on here. It makes no sense. The next time I watched it, I knew kind of had an idea what was going on after reading like a Reddit explainer,
Mm.
and I loved the movie way more. It was much better. I feel like if I watched it again, I'd probably even get a bigger score because I love it even more.
Mm.
Same
I
with the
mean, and this goes all
Interstellar.
the way back to like Memento, which is still a killer. That was Chris Nolan, right?
That was Chris Nolan, yeah. That was
Yeah.
his second film. Yeah.
Yeah, and like that, even that is like a repeat viewing. Like you are very much rewarded on a
Yeah.
repeat viewing of Memento because now you have the key that unlocks the mystery.
Yeah.
You know the answer, so you watch it through a whole different lens.
Absolutely. That's the most fun part of watching his movies. I think it's like you have this experience, and then when you finish it, you do have this like key that you can use to go back when you revisit it, you can see things in a new light. And this is 100% what's happening in the Odyssey, is that he's
Hmm.
written it in a way that gives you, there's like an aha moment, like near, by the time you finish the movie, that you can go back and see how everything was with a new perspective. And that's
Hmm.
yeah. And it's really cool to think about, and something you wouldn't expect given the nature
Cool.
of this historical story, but
Yeah.
it is very much so. And he said that he's like kind of taken months and months to plot out his movies, which really bear fruit. The one thing he's best at, I think, is meticulously plotting layered narratives on plotting time, that kind of everything connects to each other. Everything kind of has, there's like a puzzle box narrative kind of structure that also pays off. It's not like, it's, they'd raise a lot of questions that doesn't answer. Like, he does a really good job of tying everything together and making everything kind of feel fulfilling. I think that's
Yeah.
definitely not here. So
Nice.
anyway, it's a great movie. Definitely watch it in the biggest screen possible. If not, then just see it. It's good.
Still
He's
a great
signed off
movie.
on every print of this, so it's not like you're gonna get a bad experience. Just if you have access to the higher, more premium ones, do those. It's worth the money. It's worth the time and effort if it's within reason, obviously. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I recommend that.
Cool. Want to see it?
Yeah. Well, let's get on some news headlines just from like the last couple days or so, just kind of as we
Mm-hmm.
get back in the swing of things. I think the biggest thing I saw was that there's a lot of February 2027 games that are coming out, and I think this is probably just because everyone's avoiding Grand Theft Auto 6,
Mm-hmm.
and February's probably like, January's usually dead, right? No one,
Yep.
everyone's already, people have spent all their gift cards, and they're just like, so February's like, oh, let's release a lot of games here. But do you see what's happening now? It's you got God of War Laufey on the 16th. You got
Mm-hmm.
Fable on the 23rd. You have the Tomb Raider remake. You've got Persona 4 Revival, and you got Metro 2039. Like, who's going to play all that? How do you? I mean, I
And
want to
that's
play all these
just the
games.
stuff. That's just the
Yeah,
stuff that's
that's just the big.
announced so far.
Yeah,
We've still got a long time. Still got what, 7 months before February. So
yeah, and it's not only indie games. These are just like the big budget games that are coming out.
yeah,
So
yeah. There's lots of games now, and like yeah, it's definitely like GTA dropped, and like and we're seeing kind of the ripple effects of that now. Things will start to settle, I think, a little bit more as we get into 2027. But yeah, we're definitely seeing the after effects of
it's just.
GTA finally locking down a date.
Yeah, I mean, I get why people don't want to release their games anywhere around it, but
But now now instead of competing with one really big game, they're
they can be
competing with
each
a
other.
whole bunch of like pretty big games.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the game, but I think they'd have a better shot if you release it in the window of GTA. I mean, maybe not in the week of, probably, but like a week after or before. I think probably after, not before. You're actually probably in a good space because there's nothing else there.
That's the question I
It's
think a
kind of
lot
like,
of indies and a lot of publishers are probably asking right now. It's like, well, shit, like everybody moved out of November. Should we just go back there now?
yeah. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, it's kind of like actually the Odyssey. The Odyssey released, no other movie went up against the Odyssey, which for good reason, obviously. But Nolan's got 2 weeks of nothing coming out, like last week and this week, like
Crazy.
nothing. I mean, it's just free reign. But I don't know if you program something there for people who couldn't get tickets to the Odyssey, or it's
Nirvana,
like there's
the band,
some
the
room
show,
for
the
counter
movie.
programming. What's that?
Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. Put it in theaters the same week as the Odyssey and see what happens.
You saw it. It's incredible. I love that movie. That was actually my favorite
I
movie
actually
last
never
year.
got around to finishing it. I got halfway through
How
it,
do you
but
not
like
finish it? It's so good.
something came up.
Oh.
Like my life is full of distractions. Like I don't know. It's, I just and then like for some reason I need to. That's a reminder. I need to go back and finish watching that movie because it was very good. How much of it I saw.
It's actually been for me. It's been a tie between the Odyssey and that for my favorite movie last year, and so I think or this year. I have to give it to the edge of the Odyssey, but like I don't know, they're both pretty amazing.
Sure, yeah.
So, like, they're both very different movies.
Matt Johnson would be thrilled to hear you say that. He is as good as
I just saw
Nolan.
Matt Johnson's new movie. I got a screening. I went to a screening of Tony, the Anthony
What is
Bourdain movie.
Oh,
yeah. So Matt Johnson is adapting. It was great. It's actually one of my favorite movies this summer. It's when it comes out. It's going to come out in about a month or so.
Nice.
Maybe less than a month. It's really good. It tells about his summer Anthony Bourdain's summer in Provincetown. So it's a very small slice of his life in like summer, a couple months. But it's kind of the first two chapters of his book, Kitchen Confidential, which I don't know if you've read.
Who
But it
plays as
inspired me.
him, or is it like stock archival footage, or what? Does someone play as Anthony Bourdain?
Yeah, Dominic Cessna plays Anthony Bourdain. It's a
Okay.
fictional story.
Oh, okay, okay,
It's a
okay.
movie. It's a dramatic movie.
Okay, okay.
So it's based on a true story. It's not a documentary. It's like a
Gotcha.
full like it's a fun coming of age summer movie. It's really good.
Cool. Oh, fun.
But yeah, Matt Johnson, he's killing it now. He's great.
He
He's playing
is, yeah.
and he's got the Magic the Gathering movie on deck too.
What? Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. He's a huge Magic the Gathering.
Cool.
He actually, this is a fun story that I saw. He went to a pro tour. I don't know if he went to a pro tour, but he went to a tournament last year. Oh no, he went to like a pro tour qualifier last year. And he played in the tournament.
Oh,
He like
really?
won every game he had until like I think he played until nighttime, and at nighttime he just conceded the rest of his games because he had to go to dinner. But he was
Wow.
like undefeated. He was about to qualify for the pro tour, but he's a busy guy, and he's a movie director. He does stuff. I think he just conceded to all his opponents because he knew that he wasn't going to do it, but he won every game, which is
Huh.
really impressive.
Wow.
And so I have a good feeling about this franchise or this IP kind of being in his hands. I think
Yeah.
he'll do a good job with it because he
I haven't
clearly
seen a
cares
ton of
about
his
the game.
stuff, but I saw Blackberry, not even realizing that was him, and I thought it
Blackberry's
was
great,
great.
isn't it?
Yeah,
Good.
I really enjoyed that, and yeah, I've enjoyed the first half of Nirvana the band, the show, the movie, and like I've seen his various skits and stuff online, the We Shop Wednesdays and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't realize until fairly recently that he's such a actual like prolific director and like movie dude.
Yeah,
So
I think
yeah,
it's just recently. I think he's just gotten like all these things are coming out right now. I think. I
yeah,
think it's kind
that's
of
cool.
just a
Well, yeah,
confluence
I
of
mean,
timing.
it
But
seems like he's one to keep an eye on for
yeah,
sure.
he's great. There was some really cool stuff in BlackBerry about. There's a dedication to id Software at the end. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh,
I think there's like
I don't
there's a
remember if I
picture of
caught
id
that.
like the founding members of id Software for Doom.
Oh, wow.
I saw BlackBerry with the Q&A with Matt Johnson there, and he talked a lot about the inspiration of id Software and Doom on
Huh.
his kind of for that movie specifically and kind of the way he approaches stuff. So I was like, wow, this guy's a
We should
gamer.
get him
Literally
on
a gamer.
here to ask how he feels about it getting basically like not quite shut down, but basically shut down.
I feel like that's kind of there's one way that conversation is going to go. We're all going to just
Yeah.
hate everything. but yeah. Well, speaking of hating everything, I kind of want to get to one of the bigger topics that kind of came out over the summer or the last month or so, and that being of Sony's announcement to end physical disc production for PlayStation after January 2028.
Big
Woof.
story. Big story. Lots of
story,
big
kinda sucks.
reactions to this after the news broke. Just a couple weeks ago now. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's been ugly out there.
Actually, it's in a month. I saw the date on this PS Blacklist is July
wow, yeah.
1st.
Yeah,
Oof.
goodness.
It's a whole month. And people are still like, the reaction on social has been universally with just outrage and disgust. It was funny. I think over the weekend I saw Sony Electronics posted, "Hey guys, check out our new turntable. Upgrade your vinyl player." And that got community noted. It got flooded with people like, "Okay, hypocrites, what do you?" I thought that was really funny. Just how I just I think it's deserved, but I see it from both sides. I understand having been on one side of the business as well, literally being the digital part, but it's pretty funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's man, I don't know. I have so many like thoughts all over the place about this. It's
Yeah.
hard to kind of organize it into, but
Yeah. Well, why don't we start with the business sense for Sony? I think so. It makes sense as the business, right? Because I mean, for years, and I worked on this side of the business, is that we were always competing with the physical good retailers. Like we were always kind of competing for the best prices because a lot of publishers would not want to, they would not want to give us, meaning the PlayStation Store, a better price than they would like game or the disc copies for GameStop. So there's always like this kind of not quite hostage, but there was kind of a limiting factor in that. And obviously it's higher margins for Sony because they get all the profit from these the games sold now, because if you have a disc game, there's a chunk of it goes to the retailer, a chunk of it goes to making the disc itself. And as people nowadays, and there's lots of data online, we had the data too, that as over the years you can see this kind of just huge pie chart of the games sold digitally. It's like the Pac-Man eating the the thing. It's just becoming a full circle for the. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what the number is at this point, but it's like above 90. I would say. I would guess. Um, so it just, I think from a consumer, the data suggests heavily that, oh, okay, then people are wanting digital more. So therefore, let's just go digital.
Sure, but
And
we would be remiss not to also note that
I'm just saying this is the business sense of it. Like I'm just
yeah.
That's, we're
But
framing the
Sony
conversation
definitely
first.
had a hand in nudging players in that direction by making the entry level PlayStation 5 a discless console. You want a PlayStation for what was it, $500 or $400, $399, I think, what for the digital one when it first came out.
I think it was announced at $399. Yes.
You want a PlayStation 5 for $400? No disc drive. It's okay. Just buy everything on PlayStation. A lot of people probably switched over to digital then just because they couldn't afford the more expensive SKU, or
I don't know
for Christmas they got the cheaper one or something like that.
I think they actually sold way more of the discs. I think there's more discs ones in circulation, but I think they actually produced way more disc ones than the digital ones. But I think that was kind of their
and PS5 Pro was very much like, there's a disc accessory if you want it, but
they definitely are pushing out with the PS5 Pro, which is wild. Because the first thing I bought was the disc drive for that, because no.
Yeah, but I mean, they're talking a lot about like, oh, we've seen that customers want to play. Well, I mean, you're kind of like really gently, not gently nudging people to play things digitally. Like it's. Well, people have had less of a choice in recent generations.
I want to stop you there, because I think I'm all for, and before we get into this, I am all for customer choice. I buy basically only physical games, which is wild because I have a huge library of digital games, and I worked on that side of the business. But I know for a fact that a lot of friends, you included, prefer digital because it's easier to get, so you can just you don't have to go to the store. And you don't have to have a physical thing to like take up space in your house, right? So this is those with smaller homes, condos, apartments, whatever. Having a thing there is not bad. So it's, from a consumer standpoint, it is easier, and it's
from this consumer's perspective, sure, but my perspective should not be forced on everybody else. Like, people who want to own their games on a disc should be able to do that, and that's the thesis behind the whole Stop Killing Games movement, which I think this will probably end up getting tied up in somehow. But it's the first step. I think that all the big companies were probably just waiting to see who was going to blink first in terms of doing this. I think everybody's wanted to for a long time. I'm totally speculating. I mean, here, but
yes, because I remember Xbox, they had the whole thing, and Xbox was it
the whole generation. They lost that whole generation because they tried to do this.
And we had our beloved Shuhei Yoshida and Adam Boyes have the famous sharing disc video, which was amazing.
And now PlayStation is just like, okay, well, we think the world is ready for that. Now we're going to do it now.
Right. Yeah. It's been like 12 years since that.
Sure, but I don't think there should ever be a world where there's not the option to buy a game physically, or the option to buy a movie physically, or the option to buy a book physically, or the option to buy a painting physically, something that you can own and keep and will live forever. And this is kind of getting into a different conversation, but not until the servers shut off, Because at this point, if it's all digital, then we're A, putting all the pricing power in Sony's hands, and B, basically saying that they can shut it off whenever they want, and we can't do anything about it.
Yeah,
and we will lose access to this thing that we. Yeah,
that's one of the reasons why, like, I only buy physical games. Is that the most salient example for me was Persona 4 Golden on my PS Vita. I love my PS Vita. I brought it out. I was like, I want to play some Golden. I've never finished this. And I download it, but the PS Vita store is closed. And I couldn't, I was like, I just can't play this game anymore. I mean, fortunately, I actually found the cart, actually bought the physical cart. And so I was able to play it because I had the cartridge. I think this is a few years ago. This is like when there was that weird limbo. I think they were trying to shut down the Vita and PS3 stores, and then there's enough outrage that they kind of put them back on again. Now they're going to close it.
But now they're actually
closing. Anyway, the point is that after that incident, I was like, it's a really big wake up call when you realize that, oh shit, they can just delete stuff from my library and I have nothing to do about it, even though I already paid for it, like, because it's in the terms and conditions. You already signed your life away.
Yeah.
And so that's why every time I always buy a physical game, because of that situation.
But so
So
many of these physical games are still tied to being able to connect to the internet or what have you.
yeah.
A lot of times it's like a key, like maybe not quite Nintendo key card status, but like
Oh, it
you put
is.
the disc in and then it's like, let me download a 50 gigabyte update to make this disc actually functional. Like
Yeah,
it's
I was actually
still, even if you have the physical disc, it still doesn't solve the problem.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. Is like and this is just having a discussion because I think we both agree because consumers need choice, consumer needs rights, gamers and consumers they're lumping them
Yeah.
together in the same term, but they deserve better than they're getting. But to be fair, it's been so many there have been it's been over a decade since a lot of the physical games on PS5 or PlayStation or Xbox games, the disc games, are literally just like discs with keys basically, right? Like you
Yeah.
have whenever you can't there's a lot of games you can't play if you're not connected to the internet
And I've
and
hated it
downloading
the
a
whole
50 gig video.
time.
It's
I thought
I
it
agree it
sucked
sucks
the whole
but
time, but now this
and
situation just
so
really shines a
yeah,
harsher light on the whole
it
situation, I
does
think.
and it does, but it does kind of play into their kind of reasoning for like, well, you're already kind of you have to be in there anyway, so why have a coaster instead?
Yeah, because you forced me to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of that's also, game developers wanted more time to, they wanted to patch their things at launch. So
Yeah, it's
they're
the
going to ship
industry
something with no
moving
rules
at
in.
a breakneck pace and everyone trying to keep up. Yeah.
They're, well, a lot of, I mean, the plus side for, developers too, is that they can now they don't have to go gold on a game, 6 months in advance because of the needing to press the discs. It gives them a little more time to finish the game and do whatnot.
Yeah.
That's
And,
true. That's a true fact.
I know it's true. I'm saying that's not necessarily a good thing.
It's a good thing for theoretically for a better product, but
It could be a good thing, but I think that gets abused
Yeah.
a lot and ends up with unfinished products getting pushed out the door because we'll fix it later. We'll fix it with a day 1 patch. We'll fix it with a day 2 patch. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. But so for a long time, like the discs have been kind of useless in terms of they're just a key to let you download the thing you
Yeah.
bought, and you have to download another 60 gigs or whatever to play the game. And so I mean, I use a site called I think it's willetplay.com, right? Use that one too, where it's I don't know if you've seen this before, but it's a database site that will let you know if a game a game disc will let you play the game offline immediately without any patches.
Interesting.
So there's games that have like that certification that makes me want to buy that even more. So that's like the game I'll definitely buy on disc. Is that if because it's kind of like in terms of game preservation, it's like you're literally preserving the 1.0 version of the game, right? So without any patches and like other stuff around it, gameplay wise, and so that's kind of a cool thing to have a 1.0 version of like Death Stranding or whatever Metal Gear, what I mean, whatever it is like that's there. So, so that site's very good resource to use, but a lot of the games now are just glorified game keys. Like you can't even play the game unless you connect to the internet once, and those are the most useless kind of discs because at that point it literally is just taking up space in your library, in your physical library on the shelves.
It's literally just a dang coaster. There's not the game's not even on it. It's I don't know. We live in such a weird time.
It's a game specific thing
I
too,
think
because,
I think that on a long enough scale, like this is probably inevitable, but it sucks. It still sucks.
Yeah, it really sucks because of the thing we just talked about. But okay, my point I was going to bring up was this doesn't happen in the other mediums. Like you talk about movies,
not
music.
Yet.
Oh, it's already they've already gone full circle. So movies, music, we can do books, ebooks. That's less of a thing. But kind of the other kind of like digital art forms is that. So if I buy a vinyl record, I don't have to connect to the internet to play this. It's on there. All of it's on there. Same with the CD, right? You can just, you don't have to same as a movie. Movies are all like all the content of the thing is on the thing, on the physical, whatever the medium is.
Yes, which makes me especially scared that this could potentially embolden other companies to follow suit. Maybe 10 years from now, there are no more Blu-rays being printed.
Well, I think that's a danger that's a constant danger because they have companies at Netflix and all these digital streamers. If they have that's why it was so scary when Netflix was about to buy Warner Brothers Studio, because then they have control over that part of movie history. And if the company decides, and they're a digital only company right now, right? They'd never to produce Blu-rays, never to do any physical mediums. Then those are lost to time if you cannot. If they're just available on Netflix servers, which is the danger of like this danger of the game. What am I talking about games here? So
Mhm.
yeah, but for now, like every other medium is kind of like gaming is the only one that's really affected by this, especially with the day one patch stuff too. I mean, that's a whole different topic, but it's
Imagine day one
wild.
patches for movies. Oh, we got
I
to do some
mean,
reshoots. Don't watch that version of the movie.
I think there's probably Marvel stuff that anyway, but yeah,
The
yeah, fair.
X-Men Origins Wolverine,
Yeah,
like
they got well,
work print.
they recut the Peacemaker. So I just saw Peacemaker with John Cena.
I watched the first season, but not the second one.
Okay, so I watched both seasons. The second season ends with like the previous DCU's heroes in it. So like Henry Cavill and Jason Momoa, the
Right.
previous the Zack Snyder people, and those were originally cameoed in that episode or in that season. And then now that James Gunn is on board, they literally reshot all of that and replaced it with the new people.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
isn't that wild that you
Yeah.
can actually go back and V2 content now, especially?
It's like removing the Starbucks cut from that Game of Thrones episode, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, yeah. I know you're joking, but actually,
So we are. I mean, we are starting to see. We're starting to see the early stages of this same situation. Maybe, like I said, maybe we get to a point where we are just renting all of our movies from Netflix's servers, and they can decide to remove them anytime we want.
Yeah, I mean, I think the problem is a lot of people already gotten used to that. A lot of people don't care. People love convenience.
Complacency is the enemy.
Yeah, and that's the convenience is kind of what I was trying to bring up earlier, is that it's much more convenient for you to just download a game at midnight when it comes out, or just literally whenever you want to play it. You buy the game, it's downloaded, and you can play it. You don't have to drive to Best Buy and or GameStop or whatever, and then buy it. You can just buy it. It's super convenient, and I think that's similar with movies that especially if you're paying for a sub like Netflix.
Yeah, but let's be honest.
There.
Sony isn't doing this because it's good for customers. Sony is doing this because it's good for Sony.
Yeah, I mean, it makes the things we just mentioned, right? It's the production costs of making a disc, the profit margins from paying retailers, their cuts. So they get
of course they're going to frame it as like consumer choice, and consumers have chosen that they want to play games digitally, but they're doing this because it's going to save them a shitload of money.
Yeah, they are. But I guess the point I was actually trying to get across is that. Yeah, consumers do like the convenience, but consumers also, I think, deserve better in terms of rights of ownership. I mean, the other things that you can't do with the digital copies, you can't lend to their friends. Like even with a game key disc, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is they are going to completely control the pricing situation. There's not going to be a used games market anymore. There's no more loaning out your games to friends. Like, I don't know. It's. I think we're just seeing the beginning of how crappy this is going to get.
Yeah, and I think similarly with like Netflix too. It's like if you watch a movie on Netflix, you can't let your friend borrow it, right? Yeah, I mean, I guess you could share the link if they have Netflix as well, but it's not the same.
Well, there's like the family sharing, and they've been cracking down on that too.
Yeah, so
I think money on the table.
Yeah, but there are convenient parts of digital. Right. That
I'm not arguing that. I am primarily a digital player because it's more convenient, but I still strongly believe that games should be available in a physical medium, and B, playable in perpetuity. Like even after the servers go off, there should be some kind of switch they can flip where the game is now an offline product and you can play it in some form, even though the servers are off now. Like that should be a thing. You should be able to play the game that you purchased even after the servers shut off, even if you're not playing online with other people. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
figure it out. Build it into the plan.
Yeah, if there's a game that's only online only, like you can't really play that without servers. But if it's like a game that has a single player
then
aspect to it,
make it a thing where people can spin up fan servers, spin up their own servers. Make it peer to peer. Make it not require I don't know. Like there are ways to figure it out. Maybe there are like some weird like offshoot games where it's like, no, really, like this can't work unless you are connected and talking to another person on the internet. Like, okay, but even then, like fan servers, like let people spin up their own servers, and I don't know. There's a way to do it. Like if the companies had users' interests at heart, they could figure it out, but that's not where the money is. The money is in them figuring out how to kill the used games market and stop letting people loan their games to people. That is that's the direction they're going to go as soon as the market allows them to. And I think that this is just like Xbox tried to do it too early, and they didn't frame it right. They framed it as their entire next console is based around this whole idea. This is framed as PlayStation is not saying like PS6 is digital only. They're like that is going to be that's going to be the case because of this, but they're framing it as we are ceasing production of physical discs. So, and it's not like they're not doing it on a big, like, I don't know. It's the Xbox situation was an E3 showcase where they were up there talking about this new game system that watches TV shows and movies, and you can watch sports on it. And by the way, you have to be connected to the internet all the time because TV is so awesome. And it's like, they really screwed the pooch with that, with the positioning of that whole thing. And I think that PlayStation studied that and just waited for their moment.
And they're still screwing the pooch. So the reaction has been awful. Like the reaction
is going to be awful no matter when they do it. They probably have been thinking about this for a long time and decided this was the best time to pull off the Band-Aid.
I'm just saying that they're also screwing the pooch right now in terms of communication. I agree. The communication they've done right now is really bad. They're just ignoring everything.
Oh yeah, the lack of communication,
which is like the playbook.
It's get the bad news out there, stick your head in the sand until everybody moves on to something else. But
I think what gets me is that there's a way you can do this transition while also playing up more of the pro-consumer stuff, or at least developing some features that make this more palatable, like a digital future palatable. Stuff like, okay, maybe digital rights, we're upgrading digital rights, so you can lend these to people, right? That you can give somebody, your license to borrow, maybe we disable on your end for X amount of time and whatever it is. This is spitballing now, but like,
I would be thrilled to see this lead to a reduction in DRM, but that is not how this is going to shake out.
Yeah, but there's ways you could develop a digital only feature that still has consumer features in mind, and you can still spin these in a better way than just removing them all.
I agree. I hope that when they reveal PS6, there's something that makes this more palatable. But it's not looking good right now.
If they were smart, they could actually make money off of this because if you let people sell their digital rights, right, then you start doing the Ticketmaster playbook where you're reselling your product. You let people resell product on your own platform, and you take a cut of those transactions. So it's like if I sold
Diablo 3 auction house.
Yeah, but with a real product you can give away though. So it's like, okay, so I'll sell my copy of Sorrows to you for whatever money, and then
it's not a real product though. It's a license to play the game.
I'll sell my license, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm selling my license.
It's as much of a product as something I buy on the Diablo auction house is. It's a digital doohickey, Yeah,
that's much of our lives are digital, and you're paying a lot for digital stuff right now. My point is that, okay, so they could, but an idea would be, okay, then they can take a cut of that. That's actually a business idea that they could use to kind of generate revenue and still have, but in a way that develops some, pro-consumer features for their licenses. Like whether it's ideally it'd be free, right? Or I can just transfer a game to you. Maybe even transfer, right? I should be able to transfer you an ownership of my game that I purchased. I think
Nintendo has started dipping their toes into this with the virtual game cards, which are a pain in the butt system when I want to just let my kid play one of my games on the other Switch. It's like,
DRM's not the best,
turn on my Switch so I can like virtually eject the game card and virtually hand it to you so you can virtually put it in your Switch. Like, I guess.
But it's, even though I'll give the Nintendo, at least they did something, right? They did something to kind of try to,
and they should also be putting the game on a damn cart.
Yeah, that was my other idea. So that's the other idea I was kind of spitballing in my head this morning, was that what if they went to cartridges instead? Because you can fit 64 gigs onto a cart now, if not more. I mean,
it costs a lot more to make a 64 gig SD card.
I know that memory is kind of in a storage right now. It's probably not the best time to be doing that, but I don't know. There's, in terms of, I was thinking this from the perspective of the price of making an optical disk drive and like kind of selling that, or having people buy an optical disk drive. I get why that's kind of a cost that's probably just negligible, because, for example, none of us on all our PCs, MacBooks, whatnot, no one has an optical disk drive anymore. That's something that went by the dodo years ago. And so I get why, okay, discs maybe not the future, but what if you just sold game cards, like flash cards? Like you could fit the game on a flash card. And I mean, this could, I mean,
I mean, that's what
I
Nintendo's doing.
that's what, exactly. That's why I'm like, well, why, maybe that's what we're doing for PS. I mean, I know they're not doing this, but
Call of
that
Duty
could be an
can't
idea for next
fit
gen console.
500 gigs on a cartridge.
You can't find 500 gigs on a Blu-ray disc. So
No, well, I'm saying like some of these games are ballooning out of control, and like there's no way that they would be able to fit it on any sort
yeah,
of
but you fit
cartridge.
most games you can fit on a 64 gig cart, like
Yeah.
right? Because I think a Blu-ray disc is, what is it, 40, 50 max? I can't remember what the double density stuff is nowadays.
Like I think it's 25 and 50.
When's 25? Okay, yeah. So then you can definitely fit 50 onto a 64 gig cart, and that's something that doesn't require any moving parts. That's something that you could, in a theoretical PS6 where they have like a Switch like docking thing where it's portable, that you can fit on both. The dock.
I think at that
the
point
thing.
it just becomes a question of how much does it cost to manufacture one of these cartridges versus a Blu-ray disc, which is archaic. They at the scale they're doing this, it would have to not be any more expensive to do the cartridges than the disc. And I think discs are so cheap to do now. Well, obviously not cheap enough to keep doing it.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
but I don't think that going
easily...
to cartridges is the answer. I don't think that's going to save them the money that they're trying to save.
I'm not talking about this from their money standpoint. I'm talking about this from a consumer standpoint. Like, okay, this is a compromise that it kind of gets them out of the disc manufacturing business. They can use those disc factories to make whatever else they're doing with them now, right? Because right now it's too far gone.
But then they still have to manufacture something is the problem. They have to manufacture a box, and they need to have physical. They have to have factories where these things. Well,
the boxes are still being made. They're still making boxes, right? Because you saw the GTA announcement where they're literally putting code in the box. So they're still making those Joe case boxes.
GTA is a special case. I don't know. That's a good question. Are we going to see just boxes with codes in them at Walmart?
Yeah, we are. I mean,
or is that just going to be the transition until?
Well, I'm pointing in my screen. It's like the physical place I'm pointing to. The PS blog post says, we look forward to, that's some corporate speak, but it does say, on PlayStation Store and our retail partners, and that would make sense because they don't want to completely exit.
They're saying that so they don't scare all the retail partners away right now.
Oh, they've already scared them off. I mean, this announcement's already like F you, right?
Yeah. I mean,
it's not. I'm just saying that I think we will see code in the boxes for mini games, right? Or maybe the bigger ones like FIFA.
Maybe only for the big ones.
The big ones, yeah. But my point, I was just refuting your point about they have to make a box. Like that box is, I think we're
going to see a lot fewer boxes, and it's going to get fewer and fewer as the years go on.
I'm just saying this is my idea for the cards. Is I think something we
I admire that you're trying to solve this problem for Sony.
I'm trying to solve this in a way that kind of gets at some of the business stuff that saves Sony money on the discs, the factories, while also kind of retaining this physical option for some consumers, right? Because it's I can imagine like a memory card reader is probably much easier than it's definitely easier than having an optical disc drive. And
I wonder what this means for like limited run games, like stuff like that.
They're donezo unless there's a way that unless there's a way to play a physical game, right? But it's going to be
all
hopefully
Switch
it's a memory card. I think that's what I'm trying to think about.
Yeah.
It's going to be like a Switch game,
or maybe it's just a really cool like collector's edition of a game that didn't otherwise have a collector's edition or something.
I mean, a lot of the collector's edition games now, like are like kind of game or code only, right? So if you buy I have a collector's edition of Marathon, for example, and it's a cool it's a cool like kind of figure or whatever it is, but the code, there's no code, the game inside is not a disc. It's a code to redeem the game for a digital copy of the game. So they've already this is kind of where it's headed, is that we're getting physical collector stuff they're going to charge you a premium for, but then the game you get is going to be a code in the box, literally.
Yeah.
So, but I think it's, maybe that's an idea, right? Because it's, it's going to be more. I think I actually would, even if it cost me more to have a physical option, I'd rather have that option than not have the option, right? I mean, obviously the options are great, but
I think that's what Nintendo's doing too, is physical games are just more expensive right now.
They're charging, they started doing this summer, I think.
Which
with,
I get it.
Yoshi
I get that
and
because you're buying a physical product instead of just downloading
that's
something.
An easier.
So there's an expectation
easier,
that I would pay $10 more to have the box and the card. Okay, fine.
That's an easier pill to swallow for you and I, right? I get it. It's like, I want that thing on a physical cartridge. Memory's expensive now. Yes, I'll pay the extra $10, and
but I don't want a game key card. I want the game on there. I don't want the game key card.
Yeah, I generally will pay the extra $10 for that. For that. So that's why I prefer to have a thing. But regardless, yeah. So maybe that's could be a path forward is doing that. I don't know. I don't know if it's feasible. I think it is something they should look into. But at the very least, right? I think they got to look into even if they had just had this message with a plan to have some sort of lending transfer, some sort of digital rights management that isn't just we own everything still and deal with it. It's just so arrogant and so anti-consumer that it really it kind of grinds our gears, but it really does. It's and then the whole stick your head in the sand thing after that too. It just leaves everyone with a bad taste. You're not making everyone's pissed. Obviously the retailers are pissed. Then the game manufacturer. I saw Ubisoft actually release a statement. I think was it this week or recently, and they were like, "Yeah, we get it. It's better for Sony, and hopefully it'll boil over quick." Something to that effect. That's not the that's not the quote, but I think the gaming partners, they don't care because they're not they don't really have to do any much. I'm sorry, the gaming publishers, because they're either selling it direct or they're getting the same cost anyway. So I think. Yeah, I don't know. Anything else you can think of? Like, what else could they do to make this better? Because like you said earlier, they can't go back and make discs now. Okay, so like that ship has sailed. That's already the factories are being repurposed. They're not going to make discs anymore. They're not going to do discs players. So it's what else can they do?
Things that they could do that would make this more palatable would be to consumer friendly. I think like removing DRM or making it less DRM. Like, I don't think that's how this shakes out, man. Like, I would love to see it where it's just like, oh yeah, it's just an EXE and you can just like pass it around. Like, well, I mean, like that's not going to be the case,
do you think my idea for like the ownership DRM with ownership management, right, or kind of like transfer or
sure, yeah, I think that they're
never going to have no DRM. I mean, come on, that's
yeah, I know,
that's a non-starter.
I think being able to transfer your digital ownership of something is something that should have happened a decade ago. This should be table stakes. Right? This should be something that we should already be able to do. But if anything, maybe they finally get their arm twisted into letting us do that, and that is seen as a consumer friendly win. Yeah. But I don't know if it even goes that far, because then that is so much money left on the table, because I think the end goal of this is to kill the used games market. And that like if they make it too easy, if they make it possible for people to sell their game to someone else, then that completely undermines the reason that I think they're doing this.
Well, one of the reasons, right? It's not the only reason, but
the primary reason they're doing it. The primary reason is it saves
money, and they don't have to pay the retailers. The used game market is essentially, I mean, that's kind of an offshoot of that, I guess. But I
think the used game market is I think so. I saw, man, I wish I remember who it was.
I saw a video capturing that.
What's that?
They're not capturing the value from the used game market.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I saw a great video. I wish I remember who it was, but they were basically talking about how the industry has been trying to kill the used game market for decades, and this is how they're.
I mean, to their point, it's like, why does GameStop? Also, F GameStop, they suck.
Yeah, like they're just sitting here like their whole business is being a middleman.
Yeah, they shouldn't. I mean, I don't disagree with not having GameStop. Like, they suck. So, but I think. Yeah, so I get why that's why.
But I should be able to. I should be able to have my copy of God of War 6 or whatever, and say like, okay, I played this. Give me $20 for it.
Yeah. I mean, again, that's earlier I had the idea, and hopefully that's what if they facilitate that on their platform, right? So I sell you God of War for $20. They get 10% of it. They get $2 or $3, whatever. That's something for a consumer.
It's something, but it's still not as good as having a physical disc that you own that cannot be taken away from you at the company.
We never owned it though. Like,
I'm saying we should
be able to.
I'm saying the problem is that these games, especially the ones that are digital only, are just a license to play the game. Like, at least right now, games exist that you can play on a disc without an internet connection. We are now moving to a future where that does not exist, where you need an internet connection to be able to get games.
That's already been in play for a lot. Like, most of the games, I think, are not. Even if you just put the disc in, you can't just play it. You have to.
Lots of games, but there are games that exist on the disc, and I think that the industry should be moving back in that direction, not away from it.
But
But
yeah, I think we're on the same point of like, and it's something I just want to close the loop on this before we move on is that you keep saying like we want to move back to that. They're never going to move back though. Like we have
I
to
know
think
we're
of
not
things that
going
are yeah.
to. I know we're
So
not
like
going
there's
to.
no
But
my point my just like what can we do like what or what could they do that's not because that's not put stuff on the disc because there's no disc anymore.
I think it's
So
their job to convince us at this point that this is going to be good for consumers. It's not our job to figure that out for them. I'm not interested in doing the mental gymnastics to make this make sense for me. It makes a lot of sense for Sony right now. Now it's their job to convince us that it makes sense to us.
well the problem is that they have all the power and that they have the games and if you want to play the games you do that or you don't or
That
go
is the
F yourself
problem.
and
That is
go F
very
yourself
much the
because
problem.
that's the thing, right? So
Yep. Anyway, yeah. So shit sandwich sucks. But yeah, hopefully some good comes out of it in some way. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what kinds of amazing features they bake into PS6 that makes this all worth it.
I just had some really good ideas. I mean, do you think they were good? They're pretty decent ideas,
Yeah,
right?
I think you had some good ideas that they have probably already discussed 6 ways from Sunday internally, whether or not they're going to do
I don't know if they
something like
have.
that.
I feel like I don't.
I'm pretty sure they've already discussed. I'm pretty sure they've been having discussions for years about, I'm sure DRM in general is an ongoing conversation within all of the big gaming publishers and companies.
I don't know if that's the case. I'd wager I don't think they're that advanced. I think they only discussed, hey, how do we just remove physical games? I think that's the only thing they discussed, really. I don't think they've really discussed, hey, how can we make this better for consumers? Or how can we
I'm not talking about them making it better for consumers. I'm talking about them making it worse for consumers while making it look like it's better for consumers. That's marketing, baby.
Wait, you totally missed my point, though. I was like, I don't think that you just said that they've discussed the ideas that I put forth by itself, like the memory card idea or like the ownership transfers.
Maybe not the specific ideas, but the idea of being able to transfer your digital ownership from me to you or someone else. I am 1,000% certain they've already had that discussion and they know whether or not that's a thing they're going to be doing.
I don't think they've had that. I don't think they've even had the discussion. I think they're only.
I think they have. I don't
think they're even considering it because they don't give a shit. They're just like, how do we make the most profit?
I think they had the conversation and they said, fuck those gamers and they're going to buy our games and they're going to like it. But we will see, like maybe PS6 comes out and it has some of those features and they come out and they say, we've got a great new digital sharing feature where you can loan your game to your friends and all that. And like, if they do something like that, it's going to be super restrictive. It's not going to be better than just having a disc and handing it to someone. There's no world where this ends with things being better for consumers.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I think I'm just kind of already accepted that, and it's like, okay, what's the best we can get right now?
Okay, you're accepting your fate and saying like, okay, well, what kind of compromise can we reach?
Yeah, well, I think like many of the people or the analysts that you said, like they're not going to go back on this, right? There's 0% chance they're going to make discs again. They're not going to put those factors that have been.
They already pulled that Band-Aid off. They probably had been thinking about it for a very long time.
Yeah.
Now that they've done it, they can't put it back on.
And I think it's on us as consumers to keep putting pressure on them to do something. Because if we don't do anything, they're going to have the status quo of just they own everything and they take it or leave it.
And that has been my position on this episode and why I'm being so staunch about I'm not going to solve their damn problems for them. They can figure it out and tell me why this is a better move.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't. So
I know.
It is not a better move if they if this status quo holds, it's just a pure downside for consumers, right?
Sucks.
So I think that's kind of obvious, but I don't know if they're gonna do anything about it. That's my worry. Is I don't think they have to do anything about it.
I don't think they're going to either. But I'm saying I think they probably had the discussion. Someone probably said, "Hey, what if we make it easier for people to lend their games to each other?" And that person got thrown out the window, and the conversation continued.
Probably, but I think they would also looking at, that's going to take X amount of engineering resources to develop this feature, to do all this. And is that going to show an ROI to whatever?
Exactly. Yeah. It's dollars on the table. They're not going to do something that results in them leaving all those dollars on the table and facilitating the transfer of used games between users is leaving a lot of dollars on the table.
Unless they own the platform that does that transfer and they make money off it. That's actually, I think that's a literal $1 billion idea if they were able
I
to
could see
put that
that being a
together.
thing, but I'm also like looking at it very cynically as like, man, that's effed up. But
I mean, it's the only way that they can that incentivizes them to develop this feature because it
yeah,
helps their bottom line.
yeah.
That's the only way I can see like they
It
can, and
doesn't
then
hurt their
actually
or it doesn't help their bottom line though. The money they would lose from those new sales, I don't think would be recouped from the used
I
game
don't think they
sales.
lose any. I don't know. I think they get infinite. They get infinite.
It's infinite money.
It's infinite money because every time it transfers hands, they get a cut out of it. And if there's at some point where it just gets it'll actually outpace the original price someone paid for the game, right? Because if you bought a game on sale for like $5, you know what I mean?
Or
Like
they
it's
could just go really
yeah.
aggressive with all the data they've been collecting for years and use that to optimize sales targeted to individual people with dynamic pricing. I think I heard is a thing a while back. Weren't there some threads on Reddit about them testing like different prices for different people or something? I don't know. There's a lot of things lining up that I don't like, man. But we'll see. We'll see how it all shakes out when the next generation launches.
Yeah, I guess we will see that. But I think to your point of like, I think I also want to end with this is just reiterate. I think it's on consumers to keep putting the pressure on in terms of our
Yes.
letting them know our displeasure, our kind of how messed up this is.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then kind of put pressure on them to do something because again, the alternative is people just accept it and they go, "Hey, see, we're right. People wanted this." Even
Yeah.
though the silent
Exactly.
majority didn't want that,
I
and the
think
majority
they're
didn't want this.
already crafting the
So
message in their own favor a little bit because yeah, like you made it. You I don't know. I never mind. I'm not going to go down that road again. Anyway,
yeah,
conversation has run in circles far too
it
many
has.
times.
Yeah,
We should
I
start
think
wrapping up. I think.
yeah, I think the only thing that's the one to leave off was I don't think we should just see what happens. I think we should do
Yes.
something about it. Meaning we
Oh
should just
yes.
let people know our displeasure. That's even if it sucks, and I don't have to suggest you don't have to suggest answers for them. I mean,
Hmm.
I think if you give them good ideas, that's probably a starting point, right? Rather than
Sure.
go fix it. It's a lot of people don't know how to fix it. So I think it's about them letting them know that we are displeased. This sucks. These are the things we want. We want, be able to transfer games. We want to be able to, whatever, all the things that we want from, game preservation. We want to be able to play
And they'll
this
say we
offline
don't
when need to
negotiate with
be.
terrorists.
Yeah, and then we just throw, I don't know, throw Dr.
And
Doom
then
at
we're
them.
all PC gamers. I don't know.
Yeah. So, well, again, that's okay. This is a whole can of worms, but PC games got rid of discs a long ass time ago, and we have been dependent on Steam ever since. So it's kind of we've already been down this road with PC games, and it's just as bad there. You can't transfer any Steam games. You can't. I guess you could do the family thing, but
Yeah, they
this
have
has
family.
already
It
happened on
sucks too,
PC.
though.
This has
It
already happened
sucks
on
too, though.
PC. So it's not anything new. It's just yeah. It'd be
I think
good
part
if
of
we
the
can get
problem
something
there
out of
was that
this.
PCs like evolved beyond the need for optical drives in general. I think that was more like technology outpacing the medium, but we
It's the same
also haven't run
reason.
into a lot of I don't feel like we run into a lot of situations with Steam though where like the servers got shut off and Steam took our game away, right?
Oh yeah, there's the Concord. That's an easy one.
Oh, well, yeah, which is from the
but there's
PlayStation game.
other games that are like
Anyway,
that, right? I mean,
it
I don't.
sucks there too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I mean, just Steam is not like Utopia. It's literally the same issue. So
Yeah,
it's
but there are also ways to play games DRM free on PC. PC is a much more open. You have options to buy from Steam or Epic or Good Old Games or
well, only some of those have no DRM. So the ones you want are the ones without DRM.
yeah,
But anyway, but the point is that there's no physical discs for PC for a while. So
yeah. Not having physical sucks
yeah,
there too.
yeah. So yeah, well, this is a spirited conversation. I think there's more to discuss as things go on. I'm sure we'll discuss if there's any announcement that's happened.
Yeah,
But
I don't think it's the kind of conversation that
it's
has a clear cut end or correct
yeah,
opinion to have. You know.
yeah. I think there is a correct opinion is that it's
Yeah.
pro consumer, but business wise, yes, I get why the business is there, but yeah, I think that's the worst thing we can do is stay silent. So I think that's I think continually voicing our displeasure
Hmm.
and kind of putting foot on the gas is kind of the only way forward. And hopefully
Yeah.
something happens. If not, then hopefully the only way they'll fulfill it is if the dollars aren't there anymore, right? If people are
I'm just gonna
not
go
gonna play
back to
games
playing with a hoop
anymore.
and stick,
So,
man.
hoop and stick. All
Hoop and
right,
stick,
yeah,
baby. That's the
yeah.
future. Yo-yos are the wave of the future, man.
Get those physical toys back, like those action figures. Get those Legos. Get those expensive Legos.
Yeah.
Get that going.
Yeah. All right. Well,
All right. Well, that's it for this
me.
time. Anything else you want to give our listeners before we wrap up here? Any words of advice?
Thanks for
pleasure?
listening to Shared Bites and for your patience while I was gone for a while, and wish me luck in Fatherhood Part 2.
Okay. Yes, thanks for all your patience, and you can wish us luck if you want to. Otherwise, just at least keep listening. Please check us
Look
out
in
on
the
the
direction
web.
of California and say, "Good luck, Justin."
Yes. Well, if you so desire. And I'm doing this. I'm sending good wishes over there. Please check us on the web at sharedbytes.net, wherever you get your podcast. Let us know on the socials if you got any thoughts, questions, feedback, especially on this hot button topic of physical media preservation. And yeah, thanks. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.